Well, hello and welcome to part 2 of the self-care tips for our body and soul. I am your host, Daphne Clarke-Hudson. And again, I'm sure you're admiring this beautiful news desk that I am sitting at. This news desk was donated by Mr. Rich Raymond. And I just want to thank him for this elegant piece of art that allow me to have such class on my show, Rich. I thank you. And I just want to tell you, you just need to get a plaque with your name donated by Rich Raymond to put on here so that everybody knows that this is your work. I look forward to seeing your work in many, many, many more places. And I just want to extend an invitation for you to be part of the #1 team here on Comcast, the A New Day team. So with that being said, you all know that I just love gratitude, and I wouldn't let a minute go by without giving gratitude to Mr. Rich Raymond. Did I say Rich Merritt? Mr. Rich Raymond is the gentleman who gave us this desk. And I want to share from Celebrating 365 Days of Gratitude, an unexpected soulmate. Oh, all of us would love one of those. In 1996, I unexpectedly left my friend Tammy's house with an 8-year-old cat named Princess. As Tammy put it, Princess claimed me as her person as soon as I walked in the door. Princess Little, she was so special, I needed to give her a surname, was a people cat. And I used to think when Brad and I were dating that he came over to see her as much as he see me. She followed me everywhere, slept with me every night, and was simply a joy. Being part Siamese, she did a lot of talking. Indeed, she was never shy about letting all the other cats and us know she was in charge. She also snored due to the chronic sinus problems, and we had special songs about her that she liked us to sing to her, but mostly she did a lot of purring. Princess Little died in January 2007. And I miss her fiercely. I am so lucky she was part of my world. I have not been in touch with Tammy in years. Wherever you are, Tammy, I am grateful to you for giving me the gift of Princess Little. She was my heart. Teresa A. Castleman wrote this entry. We are going to continue with part 2 of self-care tips for your body and soul. We are going to pick up where we left off, and we are going to begin this episode with know your strengths. Know your strengths. We all have strengths. But what I've noticed both professionally and in my personal life, friends and clients alike. A lot of individuals spend too much time focusing on their weaknesses or areas that they need to improve on instead of focusing on their strengths. It is a fact that our weaknesses are always shouting out for our attention. They're screaming at us like a defiant child. Our weaknesses are needy, extremely needy. We must try instead to focus on our strengths. We have so many strengths. Focus on them and use them daily. List them out in your journal so that you will never forget them and that you can use them to build your successes. You're going to find out that as you focus on your strengths, gradually you are going to be so focused that you are not going to be hearing your screaming needs, those defiant weaknesses. You're not going to hear them because you are going to be building on your strength so much, and it's going to wipe out all of those weaknesses. This one I had to put in here because maybe about 24 months ago, I just began eating so drastically different. And I know that including greens in my diets has been one of the best things. I tell you, greens cannot be too much. A lot of times I'm out drinking different things and people will say, oh, what's that you're drinking? Oh, it looks terrible. And I said, forget about the looks. It has its nutritional components for my body. So greens and more greens. You know, I juice zucchini, I juice spinach, I juice parsley, I juice celery, everything that's green, I juice it. And I sweetened it with a green apple. So do greens for your breakfast, do greens for your lunch, and you can do greens again in the evening. So green. And you're going to find out the more you eat, the more your taste buds is going to get accustomed to it. A lot of people are not accustomed to things because they have never tried it. But the more you eat it, your taste bud will begin to adopt to that. And you're going to realize that no longer can you do without these delicious foods in your diet. The best thing I did for me when I started eating more from the earth is that I feel better, my energy is better. People tell me that I look younger, my skin feels better, I'm not lethargic anymore. So I know this is for me. I work very hard on avoiding red meat. I don't buy red meat at home. This is just my lifestyle. You have to choose what is for you. I cannot tell you what to do. It's just by choice that I do that for me, because I noticed since I began eating that way, I'm feeling so much better. And seeing that this is the one body I have to take care of it because I cannot trade it in for something else. So I have to take care of this one. The lighter, the more you eat closer to the ground and eat greens and fruits and vegetables and those things, the lighter you're going to feel. You're not going to begin to get obese. I mentioned already that your skin feels better, your energy feels better. You know, I notice on the times when I probably get lazy and I don't want to do my greens in the morning, because every morning I juice just the amount that I want to drink. My body is yearning because it doesn't want me to slack off of the nutrient that it has fallen in love with. So I focus on doing right by myself, by eating right, stay away from all the garbage. And it's not that I'm vegetarian or vegan or any of those things. I'm just eating right, the things that will energize my organs and help me live a better life. I tell you, I have taken off some weight since I started doing juices and detoxifying my body regularly and taking proper care of my colon. A few months ago, I have shared with you some information from one of the medical journals in the UK about majority of the illnesses and diseases that we suffer starts in our colon. And I tell you, when I read that article, I just found myself to a colon therapist to make sure that I am looking after all of my organs. And she commended me because she says, wow, you have a healthy colon. And I credited that to the way that I'm eating. Reduce and eliminate animal products if that's your choice. Try it and see how you feel. I can't tell you whether you are supposed to be vegan, vegetarian, or all the other things. But one thing I'm encouraging you to do is to just try the product and see the difference in your body, how you feel. And after that, you decide and what it is that you would like to do. Yes, I had to hydrate myself. I have found out that, I oftentimes reflect on growing up in Jamaica, being the child of a farmer. And a lot of times our protein consisted of peas and beans. And this is why I can make you a dish now with peas and beans and you'd be licking your finger as if you had a T-bone steak. It can be that good. I remember my friend Dara saying to me one day, girl, you can make a gourmet meal out of rocks. And I'm thankful for my humble beginnings growing up on the farm and knowing how to utilize cabbage, carrot, turnips, chocho, all the vegetables that are there, all the different type of peas and beans. I remember with my mother making soup, they would use 3 quarts of peas. And when they are through cooking it, the spoon stands up in there. That's how thick it is. It's not a liquidy broth that you're seeing. So for me to go back to this lifestyle, to eat this way, it's like just going back home to my roots. And I encourage you to try it. For those who can afford to eat organic, that's another good thing you can do for your body. Because I tell you, we cannot trade this body in. So what we put in it is going to tell later on. So why not sacrifice to put that which is good in there? You know that a lot of us spend too much money on those factory products. You know, things are preserved, they're full of sugar, they're full of salt, sodium, and some chemicals. Even some of the meats that we are buying, or that I used to buy, had chemicals too. So we have to be more educated towards those things that we are ingesting in our bodies and that we are giving our children. So begin to read labels, make sure what you are feeding your family is adding years to their lives, not shortening their lives. Every time you pick up your fork to put to your mouth, make sure that which you are putting to your mouth is something that you have inspected and examined and chose that it was the best for your family. Exercise regularly. Now, I am still struggling with that. And God knows I'm a work in progress, excuse me. I'm a product in progress. I'm working on my exercise. I walk, and I bought a bike. And I learned to ride a bike at the age of 64. So, I know that there are some people that go to the gym and all of that, but just walk and do whatever little exercise you can. Do it regularly. You will be surprised to see how your life is transformed. I have not been exercising as much as I ought to, but as I say, I'm a work in progress, and every little bit adds up. So if you can do half an hour every day, 20 minutes, just go out there and do it. Don't let people walk over you. I know, especially for us who are Christians, a lot of times we think that because we are Christians or we are believers, we are doormats. No, no, no. Don't let people walk over you and trample on you. You have a right to stand up for who you are. You have a right to be respected. And do not allow people to use your spiritual belief or affiliation to use you as a doormat. There are times when people will say, oh, well, how you're a Christian and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. Your only judge is God, not man. And speaking up for your right, it doesn't mean that you have to be using profanity or anything like that. But you can eloquently tell somebody off and walk away with your shoulders held high. Know that not because you're a believer or you're a Christian or you're a Christ follower or whatever you call yourself, you are not a doormat, and do not allow people to use that to manipulate you and to just put you through some unnecessary agony that you really don't need in life. I tell you, Christians and Christ followers sometimes are some of the most evil and devious people in this world. So if you encounter any of them like I have, take pride in telling them exactly what God wants you to tell them. The one thing I don't want to hear you say, I did not want to say anything because I'm a Christian. That's what gives you the right and the strength to speak up. Whether there are people in the church or people outside the church. Speak your mind, speak it well. Hold your shoulders high and take pride. Forgive yourself and forgive others. That is a tough one. A lot of times we have done things and we do not forgive ourselves. You know, God does not hold anything against us. He loves us unconditionally. His arms are always stretched outright, waiting to get us in to embrace us. However, we hold ourselves on all these guilt trips and we keep jeopardizing ourselves. We keep shooting ourselves in the foot because we never forgive ourselves for that one mistake that we have made. I'm here to tell you guys that you must forgive yourself. Forgive yourself and love yourself no matter what. Know that that mistake that you have made, it's an incident in your life. It's not you. It's part of the journey that you're on. That's not you. So free yourself, love yourself in spite of that mistake that you have made. And for others, regardless of what they have done you, find it in your heart to forgive them as well. Do not take that harm that they have done towards you personally. Love them, and as my friend Shish always say, kiss it up to God. So you love them, leave them, because I find out for all the angry energies that we get, we start to focus on, and the anger that we demonstrate, it is holding us back from all of our true blessing. So pray for those people, love them, bless them, and let them go. However, that does not mean that you always put yourself in a position for them to keep hurting you. There comes a time when you say enough is enough, and you must learn to part ways and separate yourself from those relationships. There are some relationships that we still hold on to after they have run their course. And we cannot afford, if you want to live a healthy lifestyle, to be around those chronic relationships. Know when it's not good for you and when you must leave on. Do not hold resentment or any negative feeling towards anyone that does you wrong. I would say talk it over with the person or persons or people. Talk it over with them. Get clarity on what happened and move on. Do not harbor it. Do not hold on to it, because I tell you something. You're just going to be walking around with an elevated blood pressure. And you know that you all deserve that. Do not deserve that. Do not hold any grudges against anybody. Not for what they have, not for what they have done. You heard me mention in the first segment that we should not be jealous about anyone. And it's the same thing now. Don't hold grudges, because that is going to be so damaging to your spiritual health. If you have done something towards someone that you know within your hearts of hearts it was not the right thing to do, address it and ask for the person's forgiveness so that you can move on. Stay away from negative people. Run, run, run as if you are running from fire. You don't need to be around negative people. People who gossip against others, who talk bad things against others. Stay away from them. Stay away from them. Sometimes, I'm telling you, there are people in your own family. But you have to know, listen, enough is enough. I'm telling you that there are times when I am around people and they start to gossip, and I just said, listen, this is not something that I accommodate in my space. So if you all will excuse me, I am going to excuse myself, and I walk away. I don't have to sit there and listen to them, because I am protecting my spiritual health and my well-being. You must speak up for that. Don't sit there and wiggle your body and don't move. Get up and leave and let them know you do not tolerate that. And before long, they will understand about who you are, and they will know that when they are around you, they do not do those things. Don't be a negative person yourself. Don't be whining. Don't be complaining to your friends about your spouse, your significant other, what they're doing, what they're not doing, and anything. If you have someone in your life and things are not going the way you want it to go, you need to speak directly with that person. Don't be airing your dirty laundry in public, because you might be saying that to your friend and you are not expecting them to take it to the depth that they take it. Next thing, they take it to somebody else. Next thing, it gets back to your significant other. And it's always not going to get back the way you said it. So to avoid all those carry go bring come situation, you stop it right there. Whatever needs to be addressed, you address it at home in a loving, comfortable environment. We all can do with some brushing up. All of us. All of us need a little nudge now and then, and all of us need a little polishing and a little shining. I know I do. And I love that polishing and brushing up to be done in a loving way. So you do the same things. It might be for your children. It might be for your spouses, your significant other, whomever it is. Approach all those things in a loving, loving, loving way. Again, I am going to ask you to tune in to part 3. However, I want to make an appeal right here. We are in need of a few good men and women here on the crew of the A New Day show. Why won't you call us on the number that you see running, or email me at dynamicdaphne1@gmail.com. We have some of the best trainers here at Comcast. They put you through 12 hours of training. They train you to do lights, sound, graphics. You're a director. You get to interact with the public when they coming here. I tell you, this is a training that will make you more marketable. You get a beautiful diploma, something that you can add to your resume, and 12 hours of training that you do not have to pay for. You can use that training, and when you look in the newspaper and see they are looking for producers for show in a video company, you can apply to that job, because let me tell you, you will be well qualified. We are the #1 team here at Comcast, and we are looking for you. We need your help. So email me, dynamicdaphne1@gmail.com, and I'll get a training application out for you so you too can be on the #1 team here at Comcast. See you in part 3 of self-care for your body and soul.